Welcome to the Positively Star Wars Senate podcast. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi. May the Force be with you.
Looky, Senator. Decent Jedi arriving.
Let's make this our best show ever!
I will sign no treaty, Senator.
I am the Senate.
This is the way.
Hello Star Wars fans and welcome to the July 2022 episode of the Positively Star Wars Senate podcast. This episode was recorded on Sunday the 10th of July 2022 using the powerful dyad of the Force that is Microsoft and Skype. My name is Stephen. I am the Chancellor of the Senate, the obligatory Brit contingent, as we all get together to talk about Star Wars. Roughly the next 2 hours-ish, we get to listen to only positive Star Wars chat as we get to enjoy whatever Star Wars is served up to us and have fun along the way. This episode is brought to you by Ochi of Bestoon. Yep, a hunter of Sith relics, a ruthless assassin, a devotee to the dark side of the Force, and sounding rather like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo wannabe. So thank you to Ochi, who will get a bit more of a mention during this podcast.
I'm an important man.
That's very good. Yes, that's brilliant. In fact, somebody else has got the audible thing is. So also, this episode's famous Star Wars quote I've got to you is this one by Luke Skywalker. His quote is, "Yes, I was big in Japan. I was king of ping pong. I was bad at tuba, and I'm sure you'd like me to bounce." Actually, that's the bad lip reading one. Actually, that's not a Luke Skywalker quote. Never mind. Okay, right. So before we get things going proper, as ever, it's time to hear a quick word from our sponsors.
517 to scanner control. 517 to scanner control.
And yes, thank you very much. They've always got so much to say, and we appreciate every ounce of their generosity that they keep us going every month. Okay, so let's see who we've got with us joining me today on the old Skype net. And I shall go around in Skype order, which is always completely random. So we have Marie.
Hello.
We have Ryan.
Hello there.
We have Tony.
Hello, everyone.
We have Ron.
Greetings and salutations, fellow senators and chancellor.
And last but not least, Ricky.
Hello.
Thank you all for joining us this month. And as ever, we shall start with around the table as we have a little talk about what we've been up to in Star Wars land, usually for the last 30 days, but bear in mind that it's actually only a couple of weeks since we were last all duly gathered. So, okay, let's go with Marie.
Well, of course, I finished watching Obi-Wan Kenobi. I basically tore through Shadow of the Sith, but I don't think we'll be discussing that one too much today, but I have some thoughts. And what was the other thing that I've been doing? There's one more thing, and I can't remember what it was, but yeah, that's
Working?
pretty much my month. But what's that?
Working, sleeping, eating.
Working, sleeping. Oh, and planning on Celebration Europe next April.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing.
So, yes, I'm planning my trip right now. I'm still looking for accommodations. Anybody knows of any place near the Excel London that's not booked up to the gills, that'd be great. But anyway.
Where's that place Harry Potter stayed at?
The Leaky Cauldron? I think that's going to be a little ways from the Excel.
Oh.
Well, I'm sure there's some youth shelters or bus stops or a Premier Inn or something.
A handy refrigerator box under the freeway. I mean,
yeah,
anything works.
a tent in the field somewhere. Yes.
We're gonna need a T-shirt by then, so we have some representation at the festival.
Oh yes, we need.
Yeah, we definitely will need something.
It needs to
Buttons or a T-shirt or something.
Needs to be something witty on it as well.
It puts Steven's address on there so people can notice.
Yes, thanks very much for that. Okay. All right, Ryan.
Well, since it's been kind of a a quick gap between shows. All I've been trying to do is pretty much read Shadow of the Sith, and I was not able to keep up with everybody else because I can only read like an hour a day. So I've dragged everybody down, but the book has been great so far. So I'm very excited to discuss that next month. But yeah, that's all I've been doing because any waking moment is trying to keep up with everybody else. So just reading Shadow of the Sith novel, and that's about it for me for this past week for Star Wars.
It's a long read.
It's
is
nice.
An exceptionally long read. I know when I saw it, that's like 17 hours Audible. I was like, for goodness sake. I mean, that's just me.
I didn't know it was like that. Wow.
It is like 67 chapters and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about almost 70.
It's 17 hours of this voice.
And I have Brotherhood.
If you've not got the Audible version, that will mean nothing. But if you have, then that is so spot on. I still can't
have it.
You do, yeah.
I cannot listen to it. It's just bad. The voices are bad.
It's not Mark Thompson standard.
No.
I will say that. But it's not bad. I mean, he's given it a go, and you know roughly who it is that's doing the talking and stuff. But Ochi is a unique voice. I assume he must have been given some direction beforehand, and it's kind of similar to what I expected him to sound like.
Yeah.
Really, but it is quite a unique voice.
He does have to sound a certain way, I think, but it was just like I was just like, I can't listen to this to fall asleep. It doesn't help me fall asleep.
No, it wouldn't.
No, it's not a fall asleep kind of novel.
No, it is not a fall asleep kind of listen.
No,
I feel like the book was written read with like a lot of jubilation and excitement and like if it's like a younger like children's book or something like that, and it's like so dark. So like some of the scenes like they're like it got really sinister stuff happening. He's like, and then
Yeah.
And then he murdered him. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's,
I'm enjoying it though. Yeah.
Ochi's character is very difficult to work
Changes.
out.
Yeah.
And I got even from the comics when he was in the Vader stuff, I found him very difficult to work out his character, work out his motivation, work out what he is going to do. I found it very difficult.
Hey, is he the same species as Maz?
Sorry?
Is he the same species as Maz?
Wait, it's kind of. I was wondering that when I was listening to it. I was thinking, I don't know if he is or not.
Some artwork I've seen he's short.
He's
and
taller.
I've seen he's tall.
Taller than Maz.
Yeah.
No, he's almost as tall as Vader. He's like up to his shoulder or whatever.
He's like Cad Bane size.
I don't know, medium? Like
They do share.
Medium?
That's why I need action figures for these characters. They can tell who's taller
They do
than
share
me.
some interesting similarities. Not Vader and him, but Maz and Ochi. That same kind of rounded face, bland face, big eyes.
She just doesn't have any eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
And she has more than eyes. She has the glasses and all that stuff on there.
She's thousands of years old, so she needs a good Specsavers. Law and stuff. But I don't know if you've got Specsavers in America. That might not have. That joke might have fallen.
No, we don't, but I know what they are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, without going into too much depth in it now, I had one or two things I was going to say what I thought about it. Apart from, I didn't actually write it down because Ochi, I can't figure him out for the life of me. And probably one of the characters I've never written. Probably the most. I'm not going to say he's complex, but I'll say he's just very hard to figure out.
he's just a bounty hunter.
Well, I suppose so. Yeah. I suppose what are they motivated by? Is usually money and glory and that kind of stuff. But he just seems to be a bit.
I will say this though, if I was reading it instead of listening to the audiobook, he would be a completely different character because he reads differently than it sounds like on the,
I'm probably giving him, because I'm reading, so I'm probably giving him a deeper voice than what he has, so he's not so silly.
He sounds more mean and evil and sinister probably in the book.
So
he sounded more mean to me in the book. I thought he was kind of cartoon villainish in the audiobook.
Yeah.
No, he sounds a bit pantomime villain on the Audible book.
Yeah, he is kind of like, I'll get you next time, He-Man. He does kind of like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Which is
Skeletal.
how I saw him in the
First
comic.
man.
I have to say.
Yeah, I'm also rereading the Vader comics that he's in, the 2021.
Yeah, I didn't know he was in those comics.
First time. Yeah, I'm reading it for the first time. The 2021 Vader comic, he starts in volume 2 with all sorts of stuff. Like I said, they travel to Exegol in the comic. So I'm really excited to, because I only kept up with it through news articles. Well, now that my library has it, I'm reading it all digital. So I'm excited to catch up and get more of his character.
So, I mean, it's been a while. It's been, last year when I read the Vader comics properly, so I can't remember. But as I say, listening to this Audible and how up she is in this, it's how I remembered him from the comics. But obviously, it's been a long time since I've read the comics. So as you're just reading them, Ryan, does that match up to my very poor memory that he's not too different? He
literally just popped up. It's just he jumped on a page and it's like Ochi of Bastoon, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed. And I was falling asleep. So he still has the mask on in the comic. So they haven't been to Exegol or anything yet, but I just know that from all the articles that I read that he has a big play with a lot of stuff, and I'm happy to see these sequel characters get kind of reintroduced in the stories. Like Kira is big in the comics right now. Ochi's has big crossover, so I just like seeing all these characters get more backstory.
Yes. Okay. What was I going to say?
That's it for me, though.
Yeah. No, but I was just thinking, well, we'll just have a very talk around the Shadow of the Sith thing, because now I'll just back up again. So Shadow of the Sith is set nearly 2 decades on from the Battle of Endor. So I think we said 17 years, didn't we? Did we say 17 years?
Yes.
Yeah, he said 17 in the book. Yeah.
Right. Now the Aftermath books, which I haven't read at all, they seem to start very soon after Return of the Jedi, don't they?
I think so.
Am I right?
I think so. It's been a while since I
read it, nor do I plan to.
So my big question here is,
it's pretty much immediately after.
Yeah, so given I'm only halfway through Shadow of the Sith, I can't foresee what's going to come next, and obviously I really don't want to give that one away. But my initial question when I was listening to this is, where were the First Order at this time? Did the First Order get mentioned in the Aftermath trilogy?
I don't think so. They were still... In Aftermath, they were still the Empire, because literally they were trying to figure out how many ships they had at the beginning, and they were having this big meeting. Seeing how many...
They weren't checking them yet. I don't think they were organized yet into the First Order.
They were basically trying to, like, going to have a last stand and try to see how many ships do we have, what should we do with the rest of our fleet, and how many commanders do we have left.
Well, how far are we away then from in the Shadows of the Sith, in the time that's set? How far away are we from like the First Order?
Well, isn't the First Order's relatively separate from the Empire? Like the leftover Empire in Aftermath is totally different from Palpatine's First Order. I mean, they're all from around Exegol or...
No, that's the Sith. That's the Sith Armada.
Yeah, that's
different than the First Order.
That's different.
Yeah, he's talking like General Hux and all them and everybody. Because I think General Hux was a kid in those books, in the Aftermath books. So, and I feel like I really got to finish reading this because I've only read the first one. But yeah, because by the time you get to Force Awakens, like they're kind of like not taken seriously because no one's really seen them.
It's roughly another 10 years, isn't it, from after Secrets of the Sith to Force Awakens, because then the way would be about
13 years?
19 or whatever it should be. How
old was Rey supposed to be in the movie?
Oh, we keep asking this question.
She was
19.
Yeah.
19.
And she is
6 in the book.
6 or 9 in this book? I can't remember. 6.
She's 6.
She's 6.
Yeah,
so it's another 13 years. So we're literally halfway from Return of the Jedi to The Force Awakens in this book.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to work out when how long have the First Order been lurking around before we get to Force Awakens?
Well, they had to train everybody and...
To be determined, I guess. There's really no solid information.
I imagine that's what some of the other books are going to go into, really. Tell us a bit more about that.
There's some detail in the Phasma book, I think.
Oh, right.
I've never read that one either. I need to read that one too.
That's pretty good. Yeah, she meets Hux's dad. So that's interesting.
Yeah, and I think Hux's dad was a character in Aftermath, but they were using their normal names. Like, I don't know. There's a whole like subplot in the first Aftermath book about some family on a farm. So I'm assuming that was Hux's family, but I probably need to reread that book.
Yeah, I need to reread the Aftermath trilogy.
I probably will have to if I ever get any chance. Okay, well, I won't delay things. Well, I have some other questions that will come out during the wash. Let's hear from Tony, because we haven't heard from Tony for 2 months. So, you go on, Tony. You've got the next half hour to fill us in on on the last 90 days of your Star Wars.
I'll take about the next 30 seconds because the only thing I've done recently is just watch Kenobi, and I'll be honest, I was watching. I was watching it as it was dropping, and I'd usually watch it again before the next episode. So I mean, I watched the series twice, and that's about it. I saw the book. I went into a bookstore, to Barnes and Noble. I think it was on Friday. I went in and I saw the book. What is it? Shadows of the Sith? Is that what it's called?
Yep. I keep calling it Sith of the Sith, but
I saw it. I kind of just glanced at it. I paged through it. I do want to read it, but I usually just been buying them digitally and reading them on my iPad. I'm glad to hear about the Ochi voice because definitely I'm not going to get the audible. I can.
The other voices and the sound effects though are like super good. So like
they are good.
It's a very good production. It's just an odd voice. That's all.
It's just hearing Ochi as played by Jar Jar Binks. Is what it kind of sounded like.
It's the baby from Roger Rabbit.
The baby from Roger. Baby.
Wasn't he a gangster?
Yeah, if Jar Jar grew up and became a bounty hunter, then it'd be Ochi. He's nowhere near as clumsy. He's not clumsy or making mistakes and that kind of stuff. He's just a bit weird.
He's just got the weird voice.
The sniveling voice. That's what it.
Yeah, so I mean, usually I've been reading them digitally whenever I do read them, but lately also I've been getting them through my library, so I kind of have to get in line, and wait for them to get them. So I have to look into that, see if they have it. But other than that, no, I haven't done much of anything Star Wars related other than be focused on Kenobi.
So because you missed our double Kenobi episodes, which are available on all good podcast apps.
Click that subscribe button.
Yes, hit the subscribe button. You can listen to us talk about. We talked about the first 2 episodes of Kenobi, and then we talked about the next. Oh, God help me, 4 on the previous episode. So we've done Kenobi to death. He's been well cooked as Anakin, but we've still got hear your 2 pence worth, Tony, about what you thought overall.
Overall, I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot more than I did the Boba Fett show. That one, I don't know, I was kind of let down with that one. But Obi-Wan, overall, it wasn't, I guess, exactly what I had in my mind. But, things never are. But, yeah, I mean, overall, it was positive for me. I enjoyed it. There were certain things, it was a little... I've been hearing right now, I don't know if any of you have seen it, I've been hearing that somebody edited the show down to like a 2.5 hour thing, and they cut out a lot of bits.
They had a whole argument on Twitter about it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But, what was the argument? Was it good, bad? I don't know.
It's very funny, Rick. You should tell us.
They're like, like they saw the edit and they took out this and that and this and that, and it wasn't very good. I'm like, I had a dog like eat one of my books, and it wasn't a very good story after that either. So,
well, yeah. So I don't know. It was. The show was good. I enjoyed it.
It's like taking ingredients out of a cake, isn't it? If you take the flour and the yeast and some other stuff out of it, it's not actually much of a cake.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what happens, isn't it? If you start editing things down.
See, and I would like to see a fan edit that had like everything as like a whole long movie, kind of like a Zack Snyder cut kind of thing, where it's like you take the 6 hours and you break them down into parts.
Last time this happened in Star Wars, they did it for the prequel, didn't they? When they just got edited Jar Jar out of it.
Yeah, they just took everything out of there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
imagine. But overall, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was good. The highlights, like the fight, the main Vader fight, that was awesome.
Tony, did you watch any of the fan edit stuff? Did you watch the 2.5 hours?
No, I didn't. I haven't. I just heard about it. I think on Friday. I was reading something about it online.
It was
I
like
thought,
an
huh.
IGN story or something like that that had it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
refuse
read it somewhere.
any of that stuff. Like, I'm not going to give any attention to junk like that. Like, I think that's totally disrespectful for the show when people do things like that.
Yeah.
I want it longer, not shorter.
You want to?
Exactly. I wanted more.
Add Jar Jar in there. Add somebody else.
I was had my fingers crossed right to the very end that Jar Jar would turn up. But no, that's what
I got hopes
that's
for
how they
Andor.
posted in the group. That's who I expected to come off the shuttle at the end. Unfortunately, it was Obi-Wan.
Kenobi multiverse of madness. Just make it longer.
Well, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe they'll. Everybody seems kind of like, they might do another season or a different spin-off or something. They made a big deal about, this one was supposed to be a limited, and it was labeled as such, so there'd be no confusion. And I thought, well, I guess the workaround of that would be just to change the name. Don't call it the exact same thing, just name it something else, and then it's a different show, right? But,
I hope we don't see more Kenobi, honestly. Like, they're all in good positions. Kenobi's assigned Tatooine. He can watch over. Like, let's not keep giving Kenobi adventures that takes him off or on planet, back on Tatooine.
Hey, you could do a spin-off on Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. Just call it Lars. And have them fight people every week. That'd be pretty cool.
Played farm. I'm good. But yeah, there's definitely seeing more from Reva and Roken has me like at a 10 excitement. I just hope they expand their story in some fashion.
I'm almost sure that we'll see Roken in
Andor.
Yeah, have to. They're teasing it. They have.
Yeah.
It may not be the first season, but they have to. Like, it's such a dead giveaway. Maybe
there's a lot of if you kind of look around, there's a lot of characters that are like early parts of the rebellion, like sprinkled throughout different things. Like you have Andor, from Rogue One, obviously. You've got what is it, Nemesis and her gang from the Solo movie. You've got now Roken and I guess maybe Reva.
And Saw's out there still.
Saw Gerrera's out there and his people. So there's a lot of players, which, if you kind of do get them all together, and turn it into sort of a, I don't know, like an Avengers type thing, you bring them all together, and even if you don't bring them all together.
Agent Callus, you can bring him in there.
Agent Callus,
Oh, yes.
There's a bunch of people that are sprinkled, throughout all different types of things that will either, if they don't bring them together into one thing, then you'll be seeing them pop up, I think, throughout other things, because it seems like they're gonna probably keep mining this era before A New Hope, with different things, which I'm all for, because I prefer that to the sequel trilogy era. Although I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna do with that. But getting back to Kenobi, yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm kind of, ambivalent. I'm a bit on the fence about whether they should continue and bring him back. The thing is, the way I would want them to bring it back, I don't think Disney would have any interest in bringing him back. I want a quieter, more introspective show, kind of like what Ryan was saying. I don't want to see more adventures. I definitely don't want to see him meet up with Vader again. So, if that's what they're gonna do, then no, I'm kind of not really interested in that. Because I knew, I never had a doubt in my mind that Qui-Gon was going to show up. But I almost immediately, when he kind of didn't, I saw he was struggling to connect, I thought, okay, they're going to bring him right at the end. And sure enough, that's what they did, which was a bummer. I was glad to see him. But it was a bummer because, I wanted to see a little bit more. And that's what I'm saying. For me, if you're going to continue Obi-Wan's story, I think for the most part, adventure, or for sure, I think leaving the planet is kind of done. Although they did set it up like that. He's like, okay, I'm handing him off to Owen and Beru. I'm going to take a little bit more of a step back. I'm not going to be so, protective of him. But, I don't want to see Obi-Wan going off, into the galaxy and getting into adventures and stuff. It's like, I want to see him begin to progress more towards Alec Guinness Obi-Wan. I want to see, because how does he go from not
see him hang out at the bar?
Yeah. It's like not being able to connect to his master, to being able to basically disappear as soon as he gets hit with a lightsaber on the Death Star. It's like that took a lot of effort to master that. And that seems like it took a lot of introspection. I mean, even if you cut to the end of the Obi-Wan show and you cut to the next time we see him in canon is when he fights Maul. They're two different Obi-Wans, there, and I'd like to see that type of progression, but it's more of an introspective show. It's more him training and getting kind of weird, with, tuning into the Force. And I don't know that the general public is interested in that. I don't know if Disney is interested in that.
I just don't think that'll happen. Like an introspective, study in the Force. It's like,
yeah,
no, they need action for the general populace.
For that, I could see like a 2-hour movie, maybe.
Yeah.
Do a little, like, maybe he has like one like a village to help or something like that, and he's learning how to, communicate with Qui-Gon at the same time. But not like 6 episodes. I can't see them stretching that out.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And then they make them short. It's like they're too short. It's like I don't know. But
it's 3.5 hours, wasn't it total?
I will say
total, yeah.
I've rewatched this show like more than than Boba Fett and Mandalorian combined rewatching. So it can. I mean, anything that has lightsabers and the Force and Jedi, that's Star Wars for me. So anything that's just straight up bounty hunters and stuff like that. I like it, but like to me, it's Star Wars is
those
lightsabers.
Things need to be mixed in. They need to be peppered in. It's like when you focus on it, or I don't know, it gets kind of away from it, and it's not as enjoyable. It's enjoyable. It's just not.
Were there any lightsabers on Boba Fett?
No.
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 No,
Not at all.
Dark
Oh, wait, yeah, there was. Yeah, there were.
Was there who?
Yeah.
Luke and Grogu?
Oh, yeah, they must have.
Okay. Yeah.
Did he get it out?
Yeah, well.
That's what it says, big.
Yeah, he takes that. Yeah, see, they throw lightsabers and everything, I guess.
Oh, yes, no, he did. He didn't, when he showed him Yoda's lightsaber, did he light it then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
anyway, that's kind of my take on the Obi-Wan and whether it should continue or not. I mean, obviously, if they continue it, I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to say I'm not, but it's kind of the same thing. I'm kind of almost in the same position I was before Obi-Wan. I had kind of my ideas of what I wanted, and then when it came out, there was some of that, but then some of the things I wanted, I guess, which is kind of connecting to what I would want in another one, wasn't there. So I'm kind of thinking that's probably not going to happen if they do another series. So I don't know, whatever. If they do it, I'm fine. If they don't, I'm fine. Maybe they'll do a book. Maybe a book would be better suited to what I'm looking for than a show. I don't know.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind an audiobook that has Ochi in it with Kenobi.
Ochi.
What about
Winnow, doesn't he?
This may go off on like a tangent, but do you guys think it would have done better as a movie or as a show?
I say show. I like the idea of a show because we got more content. Where like a movie would have been, we probably would have. If there would have been a trilogy, we probably would have barely got like him meeting Leia, so that would have been the whole first movie.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think I would have been more interested in a movie, and then I would have been more okay with some of the other stuff that came into play in the show that they try to, it just feel like they kind of crammed too much. I'm like, the show's about Obi-Wan and his.
And I think that's the thing. People are like, well, it's a limited series, so they're thinking, okay, we have a limited amount of screen time for Kenobi, and then we have these other characters. Which, like you said, in a movie, you probably wouldn't mind it because it's, you're only getting that's the movie, but yeah.
Yeah, and then especially if they were going to do a trilogy. I mean, I always just thought they'd do one movie. I didn't know the guy had planned like 3. But I guess Star Wars is trilogies. So that would have been better in as far as like everything.
Yeah, but I mean, even in the movie treatments that I think the writer was talking about, they still had all the same characters in there. You still had Reva in there.
But they would have had more time to breathe, I think. And they would have been more fleshed out.
I think people would have complained about the movie too.
Oh,
it would
absolutely.
have been shorter runtime.
Absolutely.
Of
People
course.
complain about everything. Star Wars is complaining. It's almost synonymous with complaining. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on Obi-Wan.
It was written and laid out. I think it works good for the show. It almost had cliffhangers episodically. So the big difference is people just want to binge. They want it all at once, right away. and they have all these million questions that are super negative, like, well, why are you doing this? And it's like, well, why don't you just wait 2 or 3 episodes and they'll explain it to you? Like, it's
Well, then if you rewatch it too, it does show like a lot of like things you
Why do you have to explain everything? Is the thing. A lot of the things which come up is that I quite often see the one about the Leia running down the tunnels and Reva running down the tunnels.
Well, and then like I did have like
and so people think that the tunnel was just an A to B.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And I had a knee-jerk reaction to like the final episode when Reva shows up on Tatooine. I'm like, how did she get there? The ships were destroyed. But then like I watching it again, I'm like, oh yeah, there was a shuttle inside that ship, and that's how she got there the same way like Obi-Wan left in that shuttle. So yeah, I was really confused in the final episode, but then I realized like, yeah, that ship had a shuttle too, even the broken one that Vader destroyed. So that's how she got off planet.
Really, it's just one of those.
It takes rewatching and it takes looking at it instead of just
fill it in and be like, well, she stole a ship. Well, there we go. No need for a whole episode on how she stole a ship. She just stole a ship. Okay, moving on.
I saw somebody wondering like they wanted explanations on why Kenobi had different clothes when he was fighting Vader. Why did he have a robe? Like, well, he looks through that chest that has the lightsabers and the robes in it, so he had to have changed because he just swam through a whole facility.
Yeah.
That was an interesting. I did. That is what. It's not something worth complaining about. It's the funny one though. He swam in, comes out of that thing, and then like literally looks like he's just had a shower about.
Well, same thing happens in episode 1 when they go to Gunga City.
That's exactly what I was thinking. But they go through this sort of force field thing, doesn't it? Shield.
Alien water, Stephen. It dries faster.
I could have accepted that if it did. If we went through it and it just absolutely blow dried you, that'd be fantastic. But it doesn't do that because you've got their robes dripping, don't they? As soon as they get into the underworld sort of environment, the robes are literally dripping. And then
force dry.
Yeah, force blow dry.
And then the lightsaber gives off heat, so it's like yeah.
Somebody showed actually. While I think about that, where did I see that? I think it must have been on one of the Reddit Star Wars canon stuff. Somebody picked it. Oh, it's in the Brotherhood book. A couple of reasons why they don't do the Force sprint thing anymore. Apparently, it gets mentioned twice in Brotherhood, the Force sprint thing, and obviously it must be Anakin. So, yeah, it's on Reddit somewhere. They said both times where it says it, they mention that it takes a lot of energy, and that that if you used it to get to somewhere, you would then be when you arrived there. If you arrived in the middle of a battle, you'd have no energy to do anything else to evade the battle. So that's why they sort of don't use it very sparingly, and it's pretty much the reasons why I thought that they don't use it. Like a lot of force powers come and go, and people forget about them or don't use them or whatever. But
why don't I sprint to get the mail? Because it's freaking tiring. Like,
then you got to get back.
Sometimes drive me crazy because it's like, well, why do you think? Because it's tiring. Like,
yeah, I mean, Yoda can't just be throwing ships around. He gets tired,
the Force takes work to do.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting it gets mentioned. And
it got a recognition. So I'm like, okay, that's fine.
I mean, I get tired when I go to the grocery store and pretend to use the Force on the doors when I walk.
That's why I have the special ability called for grocery ordering. So I just pick them up and leave.
It's a Jedi mind trick.
You will give me these groceries for nothing. No, I won't. Yes, you will.
You gave me that avocado for the last time.
I order them and they bring them to my house.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's one hell of horsepower that is.
Yeah, that takes energy expenditure. I don't have to leave the house.
Forced home delivery.
It's unnatural.
Unnatural ability.
It's a power that leads to the dark side.
Absolutely. Well, I get tired just waking up in the morning, so that's me to finish the day. Okay. All right, Tony. So we're done with Tony, so to speak, and we will move on to Ron.
Just Ron. Couldn't afford the ALD.
No.
Yeah. Such a short gap. There wasn't a whole lot of Star Wars going on. I did rewatch Kenobi in one sitting, so to speak, or whatever. Just put it on and hit play and did the skip of the. Say again.
You've done it as a movie.
So to speak, whatever. I think it really went well. It was kind of on.
It does, yeah.
I didn't sit to watch it. It was on while I was doing some other things to some extent, but it really played well. The episode lengths, you got to remember there's 6, 7, 8 minutes worth of credits in each, so you can shave a bit of off that. I don't need to see the fan edit. I saw the creatives edit and quite enjoyed it. So I don't know that anybody's doing anything to it that makes it necessary to have to watch it that way. So and then I tried again, it was just a limited, such a small gap, so my Star Warsing is quite limited. I tried Celebration, in that if I scored tickets, then I was going to figure out how to go and how to get there and how to tell the wife and how to, say, yay, surprise trip to Europe and everything. But I couldn't get tickets, so it didn't happen. Not to say that I still can't change plans, because I know tickets do come available. I even heard that they released some for a small brief window. So I think you keep checking back to see if they do re-release tickets, or people, or you can't turn them in, I know, but yeah, it's not a done deal. If you didn't get tickets to it, you want to keep checking. You want to keep checking. I think it's the light service that they use for people that did buy them and then realize they need to sell them or exchange or turn them back in. They can't go. But yeah, very light Star Warsing for me for the small gap that we had.
Blimey, no bargains. Oh, you've been off.
No, I haven't been out and about, and haven't acquired anything. You know what, Steven? No, that's a total. I'm totally spacing on something. So yes, thanks for bringing.
You're on holiday. You're in a different part of the state. This is your opportunity to go and see what bargains are nearby.
Yeah. No, I can't steal away from anything or whatever. I won't have the opportunity to put any pictures in chat, but I did a bargain store of sorts, a discount type of store of sorts or whatever, had a number of houseware items, and it had dish mats, dish drying mats. Boy, I need a picture of them to show you what they are.
I have the Vader one with the
I would have never in a million years paid full price for them for what they were or whatever, but at the discount that they were with at the store that they were, I did pick up a number of them for the sort of housewarming gift, or a unique gift for Star Wars.
What were the designs on those?
They were scattered. So there were stormtroopers, there was Imperial, there was just like Star Wars icons and graphics, and then I think there was one that was Mando Grogu centric.
Yeah, we got one at Ross that had like it's all stormtroopers and like a couple Vaders. They're all heads, so they're all like sprinkled out throughout the whole thing.
Like black and white, yeah. So that would be it wasn't Ross, but it was that type of store, that Ross Marshall type of store. I don't doubt that it's probably the exact same thing. That I picked up one of each, or a number of each of those to have as on hand, to have as a unique gift for that Star Wars friend that needs something different that's not normal in the store. So yes, thanks, Stephen, for the reminder. I totally forgot about that.
No worries. I knew there would be stuff in there.
Can't pass up. Yeah, I cannot pass up.
Impossible, isn't it? Yeah. Okie dokie. Ricky.
Okay, so I read Brotherhood by the last time, and then I'm reading Shadows of the Sith. I'm enjoying that a lot. I just throw on my headphones, I can listen to it while I do other things, so it's great. I did pick up some stuff. I was at the grocery store last week, and I found Star Wars Uno. So I had to get it. It was a couple bucks. So I'm like, if you're gonna play Uno, why not have Han Solo on the card? So those are pretty neat. I did order some. I've been playing Shadows of the Empire on PC. I had got it for Star Wars Day, and so I've been trying. I finally passed the first level, so I destroyed the walkers with the tow cables and stuff. So I'm currently Dash Rendar running through some Imperial facility. Actually, I'm on Hoth still. But so I've been playing that game. So then I decided to start reading the book Shadows of the Empire. So then I read the first few chapters of that one because I've never read it. I do have some of the comic books, but I'll probably go back and revisit those once I finish the book. And then I got on a little vinyl kick here, so I did buy the soundtrack on vinyl for Shadows of the Empire. So I'm partying like it's 1996. So basically, so yeah, that's the it's not John Williams music, but it's another composer that. The soundtrack's great. I listened to it on my phone. I have it in my Star Wars playlist, anyways. But just hearing the the Star Wars theme.
You're on your vinyl pick. You go searching for it. You happen to find that it exists and pick it up.
No, I was actually trying to find like the proper soundtracks. And I had ordered the Rise of Skywalker soundtrack because it was the only one I could find available on Amazon, and I had got a notification that it was undeliverable because it was damaged. So then I was like, okay, I guess that's out of the, I thought I couldn't order it again. So I just ended up picking Shadows of the Empire, but then I did go back and reorder Rise of Skywalker, so that's coming today. So I'll have a couple of I had a vinyl collection, no Star Wars music, so I'm like, I need to get some Star Wars stuff, so I can have the Shadows of the Empire soundtrack on while I'm reading the book, which is pretty cool, I guess. But
So
yeah,
that was a used purchase through the Amazon store?
No, they're new.
They're new.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if the Shadow. I've been seeing the Shadows of the Empire soundtrack all over the place, and when I opened it when it came, it said that it was a reissue, the first time on vinyl. So I don't know if it's something new that came out.
So I used to say I think I've seen it or have it on CD or whatever. So maybe they repopped it on vinyl.
Yeah, no, it's got nice little inserts, and it's got some cool pictures and art on there. So I'm like, yeah, that's it's an oddity, of course, but I like having little oddities in my collection like that. So. And it's fun to listen to. And the stickers on just having a Star Destroyer and a sticker on the record is cool, See that spinning around. So we've been doing that, and played Lego Star Wars, but currently in Fortnite, I forgot to mention this last time. But you have your season pass, and you always have, like, when you get to level 100, you unlock the main skin that everybody wants. And this season is Darth Vader, so once you get to level 100, I'm currently like at 50. So,
gonna make it?
No, yeah, I'm gonna make an episode of September. So,
okay. I don't know how hard it was to get to 100.
Yeah, no, I haven't played a couple of weeks. But
you have to play a bunch in order to get to 100, or you have to be accomplished in order to get to 100.
No, you just you get XP for everything you do in the game, and there's little missions and stuff. So it's pretty easy if you do the grind. But you can also just purchase the levels. So So you can do it that way. Like my nephew, he's already got it, so he's really into Star Wars right now. But if you don't want to play the whole thing, you can just purchase it and just walk around with Darth Vader. But also they added an NPC as like a boss character of Darth Vader. So when you jump, I don't know if I haven't played this past week, so maybe they took him out now. But last time we had Senate, I forgot to mention it. But yeah, when you start the game, you see the TIE fighter and the shuttles, fly around, and then they land. And if you land there, then Darth Vader comes out of the ship, and you can fight him and take his lightsaber if you beat him. So that's a
Have you
fun
beat
thing.
him yet?
Yeah, I did beat him, and I took his lightsaber, and then immediately he was killed.
My kid showed me that, and it was really cool. He's just this huge boss character. You have to take out stormtroopers. I keep telling him to team up with other players, but then he kills them. I'm like, you're being a real jerk, like you're not going to beat Vader on your own. It took
a couple times, but we were playing trios, and we just kept going at him. So we were.
Well, he's 10 and plays by himself. So, but it's awesome. I gotta say, like, he's just standing there waiting for battle, and it's a really cool thing. I gotta say.
Well, and then they had the Kenobi skin too, so I was playing as Kenobi fighting Darth Vader, so that was pretty cool. So but that's pretty much been it. Just been playing video games and reading these books, and I think I did and then I organized my action figures and stuff. So yeah, it's been Star Warsy and watching a couple of movies. So I did rewatch episode 3 and episode 2. So, but yeah, I'm waiting to finish the Shadows of the Sith book so I can watch the sequels over again with new information. So I'm excited to get.
You gotta read the Vader comic too.
I might go that. I think those Vader comics are on my library, so I might pull those up.
Yeah, they're on my Hoopla, so they should definitely be yours.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I definitely need to reread the Vader stuff at some point. As I say, for myself as well, I was being about halfway through Shadows of the Sith, which thankfully Audible Alexa doesn't take it literally when I accidentally say Secrets of the Sith. She still plays Shadows of the Sith. So the amount of times I've said Secrets of the Sith to her, and she still plays the right book. So thank goodness for that. Because I've got the book Secrets of the Sith, but for some reason I keep thinking it's Secrets of the Sith. Bizarre.
Hey, Ryan, since you said you read those books and with Ochi in it, does it mention the acolytes anywhere in any other media? Like, is there other acolyte stuff that happens before this book?
I haven't. Only in the media stuff. I think they're kind of around, but I think any information.
But no, stories.
The visual dictionary. It talks about them in the visual dictionary a little bit too.
But nothing with Luke trying to find them or anything like that. No.
I haven't read any of the Star Wars mainline around the same era. There's so much, main era Star Wars, not Vader and Dr. Aphra, but the Star Wars comic.
So behind on that one.
A ton. and I haven't been able to do on that one.
Yeah, I had rewatched Force Awakens during the last week as well, bit by bit, not all in one go, of course. That's not the way I'm going to do it, but I went through that this week, and it's the first time I've seen that for a few months or so now. And I don't know if anybody noticed it. The first when Han Solo meets up with Kylo, and I was like, I had my finger on the fast forward because I thought, not because I don't like it, but because like it's too sad. I need to forward this bit. I can't watch Han get killed. Spoilers for anybody who's still not watched The Force Awakens. But when Kylo takes his helmet off there, he sounds the most British villain I've ever heard in my life. I'm trying to remember what he says. What does he say? I'll have to look it up. But honestly, every time he speaks, that particular sentence he says just sounds like a really camp British villain. I'm trying to think what he's.
Ooh, Kylo?
Kind of, yeah. He takes his helmet off and he says something to Han. I'm trying to think what he says, and it just sounds so camp British. All right, my English no good to me, right? You governor, right? Yeah, kind of stuff, whatever. whatever he says.
Take it off and say your son is dead. Because doesn't he say take that helmet off? You don't need it. Or no, that's no.
Yes, he does say that. That's right. He does say that. I'm trying to work out what does he say. Oh God.
Right. You gotta look it up.
Why does Han talk to Han with some weird stuff? These stupid things. So. Oh no! Now it's giving me.
No, doesn't he say I feel torn apart? Doesn't he say that?
Oh, I'll just have a look so I can try to.
The bad lip reading keeps popping in my head.
No, what did Han say? The face of my son. Oh, that's it. So he's let's see the face of my son. And kind of, yeah, son is gone. He was weak and foolish like his father, so I destroyed him.
That is gone. Oh,
yeah, but it just sounds. Oh, you really watch it. I don't know why, but I know he's British, but it just sounds like real pantomime British. That first sentence, that's like, oh my God.
British.
Sorry,
Wait,
British.
Adam Driver's American.
Yeah, but he sounds very British in that.
He's in the U.S. military. Yeah, he is very American.
But it's a very.
He doesn't talk with an accent, does he? But yeah, the dialogue does sound like something like Tarkin would say.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is. Yeah, it is very much like that. It's very. It made me laugh.
He was weak and foolish like his father.
The time when I was supposed to be feeling very sad actually made me giggle. And I did try to forward over the lights.
I have a bird.
I tried to forward over that bit, but for some stupid reason, I completely cocked it up and I turned.
Like the best part of that movie is like that's so sad. And, like,
I know. I thought it's too sad. I thought I can't watch this. It's too sad. I need to just forward over just this bit.
He comes back.
I cocked up the forwarding thing, and I came on straight as he turned on the lightsaber. I said, well, darn it.
You guys will probably think I'm an awful person because I cannot get through that scene in Revenge of the Sith when Obi-Wan gives his monologue about "You were my brother, Anakin," because I have a friend who does an impression, and oh my goodness, it just makes me giggle every time. So like every time I watch that now, I'm laughing, like I could be crying.
That's an interesting conversation. Are there any scenes in all Star Wars you can't watch for whatever particular reason?
There's like silly stuff that just makes me laugh. Like, okay, in episode 1, when the storm's coming in and Obi-Wan's out there with the binoculars and he's telling Panaka like, "Oh, there's a storm coming," and then he's finished explaining, and then Panaka's like, "Looks pretty bad." Like that part just makes me laugh. I don't know why. Like, yeah, he just said that. Like, of course it's pretty bad. Yeah, that and there's just little things like that. Just nothing like that's supposed to be tragic. That's funny, but yeah, it's just little goofy thing. Oh, and then the same thing with episode. I think I watched episode 1 too much. The constantly through the house when it's gonna rain here or something, we just say there's a storm coming, Annie, all the time. So.
Oh yes, that lady. Yeah, the old lady. There's a storm coming, Annie. It's like something out of a different movie, isn't it? That they're saying that. I'm thinking about Mary Poppins. That's what I think when she said, "Rings change to the east."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mary Poppins is coming, but it's not. It's a storm.
Oh, I want to see a mashup of that now.
Yes.
Mary Poppins comes and raises Anakin, and he turns good.
Okay, yes. So it's one other thing I was going to say. Oh, I'm trying to find what I say. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is not a spoiler for the books, but I was listening to obviously, as we're all quite a few of us have gone through Shadows of the Sith, and they keep referring to. Oh, no. Before I say the names, I'm just going to ask Ron and Tony. Do you two have you heard the names of Rey's parents, and/or can you remember them?
I cannot remember them.
Well, I
can't even remember if I've heard them.
Yeah, I want to say I think I have heard that they have names, but I don't know that. Maybe if it was a multiple choice out of groups, or whatever. But yeah, I think I have heard that they have names or have been named. Can't say that I can remember them.
I don't think they had any names until this book.
No, they didn't have any, because even the top card said Rey's parents.
Yes. Yeah. So it's very The top card just says Rey's mother. Yes.
So do you want to blow Ron and Tony's minds with their names, or is this too much of a spoiler for them? But I mean, I don't think they're going to read the
I don't
book.
think it's a spoiler for the book.
It's not really a spoiler, so I mean,
that's true.
If I heard them, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's what they're.
Damn it! I'm not reading this book now. I'm not reading this book anymore.
I think the only way the only way the names could be a spoiler is if they then have some sort of tie to something in the past. If they're just
right.
Well, the last name's Kenobi. So.
Steve and Lucy or something. They're just the names. But if they do something to make you go, wait, that means it's it's tied or it has some sort of something like that. That would be interesting. But yeah, no, I'm fine. Go ahead.
But not as far as I know, they don't. I'm only halfway through the book, and we won't ask Marie for comment, because if she says yes or no, it would be a bit of a spoiler either way. But yeah, so Rey's dad is Dathan. And Rey's mother is Miramir, isn't it? Miramir.
I keep saying meow meow whenever.
When I first saw them, I thought it's a strange name, but after you heard it about 100 times in the book, you don't think anything of it.
Miramir, right?
That's the same name as Thor's hammer, right?
Yeah, it's Mjolnir.
Yeah.
But,
I keep messing up. What's going to say, when I was listening to the books, they keep referring to Miramir as blonde, but I'm pretty sure that the small bits that we saw of her in the sequel tune, she was brunette.
Well, women tend to change the color of their hair, so.
Well, no, I mean, it can be explained away very easily. She might well just change their hair to sort of hide and that kind of stuff.
It was kind of dark in those scenes, so.
Yeah.
That surprised me. Yeah. My question about the names would be, actually, just about the dad's name. Who named him?
That's in the book.
Oh,
is it in the book?
That's a spoiler.
It's a spoiler in the book.
Who gave him the name? Okay, that's the first thing that pops into mind. Is like, who gave that kid that name? Who named?
I was just gonna say something, and I thought.
No, it's a spoiler.
I was going to tell you that. That's classified.
Yeah, I was going to say something. I was going to go. Okay. And now you said that, I've just remembered, and I can't say. Yes. So we had the yes. I can't.
It's Dathan Skywalker. So.
Now, while we're on
we could tell you, but we'd have to kill you.
While we're on the subject of them, so this brings up. So then, Rey is part of the book. I mean, she's mentioned in the book.
Drop a golden sun. Rey's a drop a golden sun.
She's
Where is getting that one?
Because it follows her family, and she's being toted around. So yeah, she's heavily in the book, but it's so far to me on chapter 24 is it's about her family mainly, and she's just there with them. She might get more attention later, but it's nice to see so much focus on Dathan and Miramir. How's it pronounced?
So she probably doesn't remember any of the stuff from the book from her age.
I don't know. Shoot, man.
I don't want to go spoil it, but I'm guessing not, because she doesn't seem to remember anything in the films.
Right.
Pretty traumatic. I would think she would block all that out.
They had her stare at the wall.
Well, to revisit the spoiler aspect of it is because her dad is how the tie is to Palpatine.
Yes.
That it's Palpatine's son / Palpatine's clone, something or whatever. So that's where there's some sort of aspect of a spoiler, and that's why it matters as to who he is versus her, because her dad, Rey's dad, is the tie ultimately to Palpatine for Rey.
Yeah.
So if you're ever wondering about that story, what in Rise of Skywalker, it's all in this book. So that's why we're all kind of into
This
this
makes
book.
me
right now.
really want to discuss it because there's a lot of valid points in there where I really want to discuss. So
Which book
definitely
is
for
it
next
again?
Shadows of the Sith.
Shadow. Yeah, this is almost like essential. It's telling you what
It's
Luke's
Luke
doing,
and- yeah.
Lando's doing.
It really is
Yeah.
adding a lot of context and a lot of background to the sequel trilogy formations, really, for the stuff. And I would say it is probably as essential as it could get.
Yeah, it's
Especially
got
if you want to
Luke and Lando
enhance-
on the cover. So
All right, you guys stepped on each other. So this is the Shadow of the Sith book.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would say. I don't know. Do we know what other books are due to follow after this one from this era?
From this era, no,
Are
there's
there any in
no.
the pipeline?
I don't think there's anything in the pipeline as far as I've heard.
If there's nothing in the
No.
pipeline, that would sort of suggest there's nothing for at least a year, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the next one is Padawan, then Princess and the Scoundrel, and then this High Republic for the next 5 months. So that's all the Star Wars coming out.
So I would
Princess
say
and the Scoundrel
yeah,
is kind of the new courtship of Princess Leia, kind of the updated version.
Yeah,
of
that's
that.
right after. That's
yeah,
right
I'm
after
gonna have to
Return.
read that.
So I was going to say for Ron, I was going to say that if he's going to read just one Star Wars book or listen to one Star Wars book a year, then this will probably be your one that you should probably get the Audible trial for.
Certainly,
I
the
agree.
Shadow of the Sith, is it telling a story or is it all just sort of informational?
It's a
It's
story.
following your story.
It's got a
yeah.
story.
When
And
are
it's
you guys going to
public-
discuss
Yes,
this?
Yeah, well, I think probably after next month, hopefully we'll have a good discussion.
I'm going to see if I can get it read before then, so that way I can join in on that discussion. Because I mean, I was interested beforehand. I have been interested in reading the book, but now in hearing just a little bit that you guys are discussing it, it's made me more interested. So
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
You can't say too
Speaking
much more without saying too much more. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of parents, I don't know, has anyone seen that they found Han's dad in the comics? Supposedly it's Han's dad. It's still up in the air, but they found Han's dad. So does anyone know Han's dad's name?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my good
Look at
grief.
what we looking for.
Sorry, which comic was it? What comic's it in?
It's his comic, whatever it is. The Chewbacca.
And the
and
Han Solo?
Han Solo comic.
Yeah.
Oh.
They found his
Wait,
dad.
I have a guess. It's Franz.
But it's gonna be something completely different to Han, isn't it? And
They're
obviously
gonna pump him up.
it's not going to rhyme with
It's got a
Sono
couple
because
of the same letters. It's got a couple of the same letters. So, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised no one's really heard of it because this was big when I came across it. I was like, holy smokes. But his name, I'm going to spice it up a little bit, but it's Ovan. Ovan is his dad's name.
like an oven, but not.
Yeah, I don't want to pronounce it as oven because that sounds ridiculous. But again, this might be a ploy to get into Han. He might be lying to get. So I don't think it's really officially his dad yet. The guy is just saying, "Well, yeah, I'm your dad." So and Han's kind of
Could it be Ovan? Could he be like kind of a
It
I
depends who's saying it. Like if Lando says it, it would be Ovan.
Oh, man,
If
yeah.
Paul says Ovan.
I'm
Lives
suspicious.
in Ovan down by the river.
I'm thinking it's not his dad because I would have thought if they
I don't think
if they had dropped it as
like
his dad, I would have heard some headline from somewhere about that one.
well, he
What?
literally says, "I'm your father." Like,
Yeah.
well, maybe not father, but like, I'm your
and Han's
dad.
like, no, that's not possible.
What's the timeline of whatever this is? That why would this person be? If it's not his dad, why would somebody trying to cash in on saying I am your dad? Like what's the timeline of whatever this context of where this is being revealed? Because what is Han that some random would say I'm your dad get them? How would that benefit somebody?
I haven't been following it completely, so because I'm not picking up that comic, but no, I can't answer that yet. So
That would speak. I think that would speak to it a little bit as to
Which comic
is
is
he his dad or not? Why come forward with that if he's not? What's to be gained?
Yeah, what
I think they're just
comic
going
is
for
that?
a
Right?
score. They're going for like a score or something like that, and he's like, "I lost my father," and he's like, "Oh, I'm from Corellia too, and I lost my son," and then it's just like,
Oh, jeez.
my son's name is Han, and I was like, "What?" And then that was it. It's been off.
My name is Han.
Trying to weasel in on a big score and just wants to go along, or otherwise wants to get information to snarf it out from under him or something. So that could be a reasoning for somebody saying that I'm your father, but not really. All right, cool.
The story takes place before New Hope, so it's like
there's a new comic, Ricky, from Marvel. It's I think it's called Han Solo and Chewbacca. It's just like something like that, just something basic. It's a new ongoing series, I guess.
It came out in March.
Yeah.
So it was a group meeting to come up with a name for the comic.
Yeah.
Took a long time.
Does it have
really
Chewbacca
dug
in
deep
it?
for that one.
You know, it'd be cool if, like,
the title.
Last
half
issue.
the comic is like in Shriwook.
They spent all their time coming up with in the group meeting coming up with a name for his dad that they were like, shoot, we didn't dedicate any time for the comic name. We're just going on.
Doesn't he mentions his dad in the movie, right?
Yeah. His dad used to build the capital ships.
He left.
YT Raiders.
I just picture his dad and his relationship was kind of like on what's his name on Bender on Breakfast Club, and that's why he left.
Oh,
like, his dad was really mean to him.
You've just reminded me. I'm just going to jump back into the sequel trilogy stuff. I could just Google this, of course, but it's not as much fun. Reading the Shadows of the Sith essential book, just to promote it a bit more. Not that we're getting paid for it. Yeah. So come the time of The Force Awakens, or more The Rise of Skywalker, do we have any tangible evidence of the fate of Rey's parents and Ochi? I'm having a blank. I can't remember if we know they're dead or not.
Only for Kylo, but
Isn't that the whole...
it might be in this book. I haven't finished this book, but yeah, Kylo just claims they're dead. That's it.
Well, don't they show them getting killed in the movie?
No.
No?
I'm kind of with Rick. I don't know that they show them, but I think they show a scene that makes us think
he
that
gets stabbed.
witnesses them getting stabbed with a knife.
Them, fighting
I think it was implied.
Strongly implied.
Yeah.
Like Psycho.
Killed,
the lady in the shower, we know she dies, but we don't ever see the knife actually, go into her, kind of thing, or whatever. That's kind of what I was done. That Ricky might be talking about. That I think we see them at the hands of Ochi.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they weren't, but like, yeah.
Do we get Ochi's fate in Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, they see his bones, don't they?
Yeah, that's how
we do this. So we know he died down.
That's
down
how
there. And we assume he died because of that.
Yeah, and that's why I'm curious
to get that for fact.
Get to the end of the book to see what happened.
Yeah,
the whole plot of that movie that's why his ship was there, but they couldn't find him, but yet they could sense him because he went through the sinking fields and fell in and could never get out and died down there, and that's how they find the knife or whatever that had the map.
Does she touch the knife and gets the vision? Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how she figures out that they died, but you don't actually ever see them die, do you? I don't remember now.
Well, that's what I was thinking. We don't know. Do we know for a fact that, I don't know. I don't want to say too much because it puts everybody puts Marina in a difficult position. But I'm just thinking, it's like outside of this book.
Stephen, what chapter are you on?
35.
It's in number 36. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
I mean, outside of this book, have we categorically heard the fate of her parents and or Ochi?
Let's not discuss that because it may be in the book, and we're building expectations. And
it's true.
The whole reason I didn't want to build. Oh, they're gonna die in this huge battle, and I was like, no, I don't want to build any expectations. I just want to read it and be like, I'm glad I received this information, and just process it from there. Like, I don't want to get carried away.
In that case,
I'm saying nothing.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
In that case, we shall move on to the news. And I believe there is some news to report, even if it's off slim pickings in this very long, dry spell
of a month before Andor.
Well, it has been the longest round table in history, I imagine. So
well, this is how we used to do Senate back in the day.
It's pretty much how it used to go. Pretty much, yeah.
Just what you been up to? Okay, but now we have a real dry spell. I tell you what, it's 2 months. So anyway, a couple quick news. I like to cover what's upcoming too. Obviously, before the next podcast. As mentioned, the Padawan novel comes out July 26th, which goes about it's Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn and their further adventures. Qui-Gon Jinn might be alone in this, though, is what I'm reading here from one thing. He leaves Obi-Wan Kenobi alone, and he goes off to do adventures. So I'm sure they won't keep Obi out of the book. But Padawan's kind of the next book coming up for the end of July. In July 26th.
Do you think that could be explained, how he discovered learning about becoming a Force Ghost? You think that's the story?
Maybe. I don't. Yeah, he's going to another planet to help somebody. I think I read a quick excerpt on it, and that's all I know about it. Again, I try not to read a lot because I know I'm going to read it, so I'm not going to read the first chapter released online. Whatever it may be. I'm just I know I'm reading it, so I'll just wait for the reading it. So that one looks good. That's the next book. And then, as we talked about before, Andor comes out August 31st. So hoping to see a second trailer on that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens while that guy is ringing that bell. So.
Yeah, the blue.
I've watched that trailer like a million times.
Yeah, so and I got to give it to Andor. It's the show that I have historically said I'm the least excited for, but that seems like they're doing great with it. I mean, they have a lot of anticipation. They have a big story to tell. So I'm giving it a big thumbs up. I'm getting excited for it. So I'm very happy for Andor coming up.
Careful expectations, Ryan.
You're right.
There's a lot of potential for some.
Only going by the trailer. They have a big story to tell, and I'm I appreciate that. They're listen, we're going to give you 24 episodes and 2 seasons. That's a lot of information, and more Star Wars is always a good thing for me.
Well, there's a lot of room for it to breathe too.
Expectations are fine as long as all you expect is more Star Wars story to be told to you.
Yes.
If you go in with that expectation, you are not disappointed. I haven't been disappointed. I'm so thrilled. There was discussion around a season 2 for Obi-Wan, and I don't want that just to have a season 2. But if there is a creative that can come up with a story that works in some way and keeps everything in check, then I'll be entertained and want to watch that. But to create it to have content, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'd probably be able to sit there and watch Obi-Wan do crossword puzzles for 45 minutes.
Playing Sabak.
Yeah.
So
that ties into my whole.
People,
I would have Ewan McGregor read the phone book. So yeah.
For the people following the High Republic, they pushed the entire High Republic back for Phase 2 by a month, and then a lot farther than that. So I think it was supposed to start in around October, and maybe earlier, and they pushed everything back. I think the earliest one is in November now, and they pushed a lot of things to the beginning next year. So I found it very weird. Is it a printed?
Right. What's the thought there? Is it so much other content that they don't want it to get lost or muddled in with it, or are they having some sort of? It's not a reworking of it or anything. The stuff's sort of already printed or going to press and all that, right? So perhaps just
It's been a lot of printing problems from what I hear. And I think the adult novel is no longer the first novel of this wave, which has a lot of people kind of wondering because the adult novel has kicked everything off. So I have the list.
I wonder if
of
there's something in Andor or something like that it would be spoiled by the book.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, it's 150 years before High Republic, which is 232 years before New Hope. So that'd be a pretty big connection.
You never know.
If it had all.
Or the Acolyte? When's the Acolyte supposed to come out?
There's still no news on anything like that. A 2023 is not released, but I mean, I'm hoping next year's the Star Wars convention will have a lot more news, because right now there's no news on movies whatsoever. So, but yeah, it's the young adult book, and the middle grade book is going to be the first books releasing, and then the adult book follows 2 weeks later. So it's going to be 3 books released in 15 days that kicks off Phase 2 of the High Republic. So it's
the last one they did was kind of wonky too, right? They had released one of the books before. I think the kid one came out before the junior novel or the YA novel. So.
Yeah, that was definitely a printing problem.
3 books in 15 days.
Yeah, 2 of them on November 1st and 1 of them on the 15th.
That is a logistics nightmare.
And what other content going on at that time that Andor's in full swing at that time still, right? And
I think it would be done by that time.
It'd be done by
Oh,
then.
you think it's
episodes. So September, October. Yeah, it'll be done by then. Oh wait, no, it'll still be almost to the end.
How many episodes in Endor?
12 for the first season.
Right.
12? Oh, wow.
That's pretty
Yeah,
long.
it's 12 and 12.
Where's Bad Batch drop?
Oh. But not too long after Andor, isn't it?
Bad Batch is September.
Hmm.
No official date.
Those
Oh, so
books
we're gonna
dropping is also gonna be a lot of sort of Star Wars content there in that late October or November timeframe. Then it sounds like a lot.
Yeah, so
A lot going on, but no movie. So keep things flowing along for those that are inclined to participate.
yeah, a lot of content. And then the last set of news.
I did
They're
hear,
releasing-
I did hear, because we say about Andor, I did hear that it's a double episode on the first release date. So
Maybe it is.
That would make sense because Andor, like Kenobi, the lay fan's going to kind of recognize Kenobi. Andor is going to be a bit of a, you're going to have to suck some people in as to what that is or what that story's about. So a double episode to help sort of really build some characters, get you engrossed in a story, get you caught up with, or get you, wanting to know more and go, oh, I want that next episode. So that would make a whole lot of sense for sure. Plus, with 12 episodes, they can kind of get away with that. You do that with Kenobi, and the season was almost, it was almost done by that point. So I'd be excited for it.
Yeah, they're definitely. If you had to pick characters in Rogue One, I guarantee almost nobody would remember Andor. It's all, it's all Baze and Imwe and K2SO and Jin.
Darth
Like, no,
Vader.
honestly, nobody really cares about Andor. So,
But that's what some of the discussions I've seen online. People saying that K2SO, what's he called, Alex Tudyk,
Alec.
he said that he would never play him again or something like that. So people say, oh, we're not going to see K2SO, but I reckon that's just a power.
well, that's what Andrew Garfield said too. But so I don't expect to
Here
see
we are.
K2SO, and their story is already explained in the comics. So that don't mean that they won't do it again, but they
Yeah.
usually try to avoid telling stories.
Paychecks speak very loudly.
Yeah,
They do
he
indeed.
definitely probably won't be in the first season.
No, probably not in the first season, no.
But it goes gangbusters and becomes a pop, and it's in the vernacular and it's just out there and everybody's talking about it because how good it was. So Alan all of a sudden is reconsidering,
I can't see him turning it down.
Yeah.
No, especially not Alan Tudyk being Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
Like anybody.
So-
I mean, he could easily do it, but so many people recognize that, no, that's my role. I want to hold on to that. You want to hold on to that
Yeah.
for as long, it's just, you might sour, Hamill soured on it, obviously, they sour on their characters after, but eventually they realize, wait, this Anthony
Do they
Dan is probably the only
Even
one.
need him though? Do they need him? Can't they just synthesize his voice like they did with Vader?
Well,
They
sure.
Yeah.
But if you want to, the droids are obviously easy, but Anthony Daniels has managed to milk it all these years to say, no,
he's
no,
Anthony Daniels.
that's mine. That's my character. I want to, I don't want anybody else necessarily doing it unless it's on Who's the Boss or whatever the show was that they let somebody. He's got an understudy that does it for him for some things.
It's also not 40 years later either. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not everyone
Yeah,
has. Mark Hamill doesn't have the same voice. Vader isn't the same voice. So yeah, they all change.
Have we seen a live action K2 droid? I know it's been in the video games and stuff like that.
Yes, we saw him in Mando, didn't we?
One
Or Boba.
Boba?
On Mandalore.
Yeah, there was one in Boba.
was there? Yeah, that was a quick thing, wasn't it? I forgot.
It's
about
very
that.
quick. It's very quick. We basically saw the silhouettes of them, didn't we? Attacking on Mandalore. So, yes, we've seen them. I'm trying to think. We saw them then, I'm sure. But I'm pretty sure we'll see them in season 1.
I feel like they have, but it must have been a really quick thing.
Yeah, it was a quick thing. I mean, they're even coming out with a Hot Toys version of it.
I haven't seen that. So, and then the last bit of news that I have for people that enjoy board games, there's a game called Disney Villainous. They're releasing a Star Wars version. So the people who like playing all the Star Wars versions of games. I've tried learning Star Wars Legion, and once I realized the how-to video was 3 parts, each at 40 minutes, I passed on it. So, but Disney's Villainous is a good set of games that focuses on the villains, and you play against each other. And now they have a Disney villain animated villains. They have a Marvel version, and now they're releasing the Star Wars version. So I gotta say,
It's
I'm
gonna be so awesome.
very interested in that.
And this is a physical Monopoly Risk-esque type of board
Whoa,
game.
now, whoa! It is not like that type of board game. Let's not water it down to board game
It is a
standard.
physical game, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that's what I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that's what I'm asking. It's a physical
no.
piece of gaming.
You have your little board in front of you, and you have your cards, and there's coins involved and stuff like that, and little
Yeah.
markers and pieces. So yeah,
I
there'll be
definitely
little.
wouldn't put it in the same
Yeah.
realm as Milton Bradley and stuff like that. It's a more advanced.
That's what I'm sorry. I'm meant more than right. It's a physical, tangible, sits on a shelf
Yeah.
board game. Cool.
A collector's standpoint, I mean, you can collect it for the little figure pieces of the villains. So they're usually like artistically done. So it's like it has the essence of the character, but not actually like an actual model of the character. So I'm curious to see what the characters are going to look like in this one. So those will be
Yeah, they're
pretty cool
usually
to have.
very artistic. Some of them it's hard to tell apart, but
But they're like
I
this
think
clear resin that the light hits it shines kind of like the colors. So they should be pretty cool. Who are the characters on there
Yeah.
again, Ryan?
yeah. Oh, you timed that perfectly because I was like, oh my gosh, someone's going to ask. So we start with 5 characters on the game, and you can either play as Darth Vader, Asajj Ventress, Kylo Ren, Moff Gideon, or General Grievous are all the characters that you can play as. So you're all a villain, and you pretty much have to be the first to complete your villainous tasks. You're not really attacking each other. You just have to complete a task before everybody else, drawing cards and trying to slow each other down. And
Sorry,
the cool thing about the villainous, what's that?
I'm gonna get sorry. So since what was the list of villains again? Because Vader's clearly the race car. Who's the thimble?
They're not like that. So it's a
No, because
Asajj,
nobody wants a thimble. I don't know. 'cause
it's
they're all
Asajj, Kylo, Moff, and Grievous.
I probably wouldn't play as. I don't know, man. I don't. Who would I pick?
Oh.
'Cause
Kylo. I wouldn't play as Kylo.
I would say
I would.
Asajj would be the
Yeah.
symbol because a lot of people probably wouldn't know her. Who didn't watch Clone Wars. I don't know. But see, each is gonna have their own. Like Ron, when you play villainous, it's like you're playing like. Okay, for example, I was the evil queen on the Disney one. So all my missions had to do with Snow White, the movie, and like if you're Cruella de Vil, then all your missions have to do with catching Dalmatians. So I'm assuming like if you're Asajj, it's gonna have something to do with fighting Kenobi or something, and Tarkin.
You have to complete almost like tasks from
Yeah.
them. So, and the cool thing about the Villainous series of board games is they're all expandable and they play together. So, Star Wars Villainous can easily have expansion packs of 3 or 4 more characters from any era to battle against. So, that one for the board games,
I'm
and
looking
the
forward to
possibly coming up episode, it's definitely a good game to play.
Yeah, we're probably gonna be discussing the board games on the next.
Interesting. I have no idea. Could we work a Senate where we play it somehow?
It would be a 3-hour Senate, but yes.
Oh, okay. Alrighty then. So,
I don't know what Skype's recording limit is.
or a first round or so. Anyway, I'll be curious to learn more about it. It's that type of tangible thing. Because I know there's so many of the games out there, or just the apps or whatever.
Yeah, no, me and Ryan, we each bought it so we can get ready for the Star Wars one, and it's a really fun game. Like I've been playing with my family, and Ryan's been playing with his wife and stuff. So yeah, it's
Definitely not just a reskin of a common game. It is a game specifically created, to kind of follow this stuff. I mean, it's a villainous game, so there's different types, but Star Wars is getting changed a little bit. So.
Oh yeah, those are the characters. You just dropped the picture there for.
Yeah, so those are the artistic pieces type of stuff that you move around. But yeah, it's a very interesting game. Me and Ricky have been playing the Disney version a lot recently by ourselves.
Yeah. Type of thing that somebody finds in Walmart, Target, or do you have to go to like the hobby store where you find?
No, they have them at Target. They have Target. Target
X-Men.
even has Target exclusive, so I'm going to be looking for if they have a Star Wars Target exclusive.
Oh, interesting.
Sometimes I guess they'll have like different color pieces and stuff like that for Target ones. So
found in the toy aisle or found in the collectible card aisle that tends to be in a
no, the toy aisle, next to the action figures and the
board game,
all the Landos on the rack right there. If you, against the wall, like where the all the other board
it
games
should be with tabletop games and board games. Yeah, it'll be done that.
They're exploding kittens and all that stuff.
With 200 plus shore troopers.
Yeah, it's around the corner from that.
I need to find a picture, but someone posted a picture. The supply chain is still just very, very messed up, and There's a
Go to-
Target somewhere. There's a Target exclusive 6-inch Black Series Shore Trooper, and there's a Target store somewhere that had an end cap that had like over 200 of them. Like it must have gotten the entire district or the entire state's shipment. They didn't get federated out to all the various Target stores. So somebody's going to be
Ron.
living large come clearance time for their Halloween staff.
At mine, they had the same size of display of those figures, but they were all different. So we didn't just have the Shore Trooper there. But I don't collect those, so I passed them up. I did find the droid R2-D2 version, which, I mean, it's R2-D2, so I didn't get it. But I was hoping to find the Boba Fett of the droids. But
Why is there so many Shore Troopers? Like, they can't really imagine people are going to want that many Shore Troopers.
I mean, I wanted one like, 4 years ago? When Rogue One came out?
Yeah, when it came out, it was a Target exclusive, and I don't know how that. I don't even begin to pretend how that works. But you think a distribution thing, and the store gets 10 of them, as an exclusive to Target only type of thing, and then sells out that way. But if they all got shipped to one store, they didn't get just distributed properly, then that's how one store ends up with all of them, I guess.
Yeah, I don't collect the Black Series stuff like that. So I mean, whenever I see those, I just kind of walk by them because I'm looking for 3 3/4 inch figures. So
I only have one, and it's the misspelled Luke Skywalker. They misspelled his name, and I was like, "This is ridiculous." I'm gonna. That's the only one.
I have two. I have Leia in the blue outfit from, was it Last Jedi? Or is that? Yeah, I think maybe it's not Last. Maybe it is. And then I have Cassian. So those are the two. But I mean, they're not to scale with my 3 3/4 inches. So
I might have more than two.
Two totes.
Two totes.
Yeah. No, so yeah, I don't seek them out. Don't have to. My collection probably has many holes in them, but I do sort of try to keep tabs of the exclusive ones. Or like anything, anybody will tell you. Collect what you love. So if I see one that's cool looking, I do it, and others, the Landos, or I pass on them and wait for them to go on clearance type of thing to maybe fill a hole.
They need some High Republic figures. Is what they need.
I saw people were posting that they had Reva action figures and Kenobi, that they were out. I mean, I haven't seen those at all. Like, I didn't know somebody. Yeah, someone said they found it at Target, and like, I did not see any Kenobi figures at all. Like, all I saw was Lando.
They would like to see them.
I don't think they're like available everywhere, but yeah, I saw somebody posted like.
Yeah, they had a picture holding it. Yeah.
Target, like some Target got a case, but I never find anything at Target other than a bunch of Landos. But so.
I've still never really seen any Mando figures in.
No, I haven't either.
Oh, I just found all the figures. Apparently, they release in January. So someone just has them for early.
They release in January? Wow, that is really early. Huh. Yeah, I want some High Republic figures. I want more in 3 3/4 inch. That's what we play with. So
you said that was your last bit of news. The one bit of news about a thing dropping on Disney Plus. I think July 27th. There's a documentary on light and magic, the story of industrial light and magic.
Yeah, that is true. So their history and how they started. So it's very interesting. Pretty much how they started from nothing. And in the trailer, are we gonna go over the trailer?
I thought I saw it was directed by Lawrence Kasdan. So it should be good. I'm looking forward to watching it. It should be somewhat informative and quite entertaining to see what started from nothing, started from scratch, and somehow captured lightning in a bottle of Star Wars, and then has been impactful on just about anything and everything else we've seen come pop culture over the next 40 years. So yeah, very excited to watch it. And yeah, I believe there is a trailer for it that we should probably just give a go in here.
Yes, I've got it lined up. Should we have a go?
Yeah. Sure, that's good.
Okay.
Brian, you dropped the picture of the figures. Who's the other character in there? Is that Leia? There's a Reva, there's a Kenobi, there's a fifth brother, there's a Bith, there's Darth Vader.
I just thrown her in there.
Oh, who's the guy on the left? Is that a bounty hunter? Huh.
That's one of the. Remember the droids that they fight? That's one of the droids.
Okay. Interesting. I'll have to look out for those. Probably pre-order is the only way to get those.
Okay.
So when does this thing comes out? July 27th, you said?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, quick sound check. Make sure you can all hear it.
Visual effects.
Yes.
Visual effects.
Yes.
Visual effects.
I hope there's some Willow content in here. Fingers crossed.
Okay. In that case, let's go for it.
Visual effects. Create the magic that makes people want to go to the movies.
Movies are special effects.
We start with an empty frame. Anything is possible.
As audiences see through the illusion, the bar just raises.
How do we do this now? How do we make this look great? I leave it to the geniuses at ILM.
It's right there in the name: industrial, light, and magic.
The history of ILM goes way back.
When I was writing Star Wars, there were no special effects houses in the world. So how are we going to do the effects?
I realized that I was going to have to start a company.
We didn't really know what we were doing. We were not movie people. George wanted a bunch of guys who didn't know what was impossible.
We were departing from convention. We had to build equipment from scratch. This was a long shot.
We make it look like a professional movie instead of a bunch of kids having fun.
We realized nothing is impossible.
There was just something here about the people.
Suddenly, everybody wants to come to ILM.
We were trying to do things that have never been done before.
Oh, I don't know. I'm making this up as I go.
They're pushing technology forward.
There's so many innovations that ILM made. Digital editing, computer graphics.
We developed Pixar to be a cartoon company.
One thing led to another. It turned into Photoshop. Now you could manipulate images.
Visual effects would never be the same again. I remember that incredible feeling when all you've got is an idea. It was so exciting.
I want to work with people that inspire me. That is the spirit of ILM. It goes back to that original group that were unpretentious, brilliant people.
That was our family. We enjoyed each other's company.
Yes, we water slided. Yes, we were immature, but nobody worked harder. We were the Rebel Alliance.
Ta-da!
I don't think there's one movie in there that I did not watch. Like,
chock full of George revisionist quotes. It'll be awesome.
Actually, it's the first time I've seen the trailer. It looks better than I thought. Yeah.
The clips that they showed were of a younger, clips that have existed, so to speak. They comb through libraries or comb through things to find clips of him talking, whatever. But yeah, I think it's gonna. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be quite entertaining.
Got the summer movie feels with that trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
6-part documentary.
Is it? Dang, I didn't.
Yeah, it's a 6-part.
Wow, it's gonna be pretty big then.
They're pretty good too.
6 half-hour parts.
Well,
6
that didn't say
hour.
First one
half-hour
for 20
parts
minutes,
and,
then
20 minutes of credits.
yeah. Well, how did we get to a time where the credits are like 6 or 8 minutes in a TV show? How did that happen?
Not that I've watched the credits, but as they play and I forget to turn them off, whatever, it seems like they show the credits for every voice actor, because they put that in so many languages. So it seems like it's that they're adding all those names to translate it, or I don't know.
I mean, I don't watch as much TV stuff as you guys, perhaps, but this has happened on every modern TV episode show on streaming stuff now. Do you get like 6 minutes worth of credits, or is this just unique to Star Wars stuff?
Watch all the Marvel shows too. It's all the same length.
Especially on the real like special effects type shows, or stunts or all that kind of stuff. There's tons of people that work on these shows. So, and like you said, the voice actors from all the different regions around the world, they just throw them in there so that I guess they just do one set of credits for the whole world.
One credit and call it. Well, yeah, exactly. One set of credits for absolutely everything. Call it good and give you the skip watch next episode option, and nobody ever sees the.
Yeah.
This is not as bad as on TV, because if it had been shown on normal TV, what would happen is that would get all put into a small graphic, wouldn't it? You wouldn't see it as somebody comes up speaking and do the next show.
Yeah, that's definitely a streaming service MO of sorts. It is not normal television.
Yeah, because on broadcast TV they have like a set amount of time, and they don't have time to be showing that many credits. Here you can skip it or sit through it if you want, and it's on your time. So
Do we lay odds? Do we think there's any revelation or anything learned out of that document? Or is it just going to be fun entertainment and educational to some extent? I don't know. Is there anything more for us to be surprised by or learn about?
For us, perhaps not. But
But for the life, for those that just watch, they might be. Well, I didn't know that's how. I was like, we've known that for years. Yeah, that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, they might tell a story that we may not have heard, but I think like the majority of us here in this discussion, we've dived into these things.
Yeah, we're Uber fans talking about Star Wars on a podcast, right? But for that lay fan that may not have ever heard that story or read that magazine or had Panther Tracks or whatever, right? They're going to be like, wow, I didn't know that's how they did that. Yeah, that's going to potentially create some exciting, cooler talk in the office for folks. And nobody goes to the office anymore.
Well, I still get amazed by a lot of the stuff. I mean, I obviously posted that photo of George stood about 2 or 3 meters in front of that chap who was up the lookout on Yavin. Thing, and I didn't realise it was that filmed that close. I think there's somebody up on a really, really tall lookout in the middle of the forest. But
just like a painting, ain't he?
Yeah, I'm just surprised it wasn't a painting. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'm still getting surprised all the time. But the amount of painting and artwork that was in these original trilogy films, and how long I've been fooled by them all.
Granted, they touched up just to watch A New Hope and even Empire, but I'm always amazed at how that effects team did what they did in the 70s, in the late 70s, to give us A New Hope in a manner that when you watch A New Hope, it doesn't look, I don't want to say cheesy, but it doesn't look cheesy. If you've ever watched Flash Gordon was made at the same time, or was made after Star Wars, but yet its effects look like effects when an effects house didn't exist, and so we had to go create one. Except they didn't for Flash Gordon. They just tried to, figure it out and make it. That's what's always impressed me about what those creatives did. What was the tagline in there? We had a bunch of people that didn't know what was impossible, and came up with making professional movies instead of just some kids with a video. That's always impressed me, that they were able to do that and capture the hearts and minds like they did with the effects of A New Hope.
I think for me also, I've also got a ridiculous memory, so I'm seeing these things like I've never seen them before. I saw in that trailer they showed Vader literally chopping Obi-Wan in half. That was something I don't remember. I don't recall seeing that before, but I've probably seen it 500 times. But I don't.
Hopefully they tell it to us. My recollection is they tried many different.
I was going to say,
George.
Yeah,
broke that down to say here's what happens, but they had to try many different things to get it to till it finally worked.
Yes, because they got a sort of robe split in half in that, and that was shot in the trainer, which obviously didn't happen in the film. Or did it?
I think there was consternation of whether it should catch on fire or not.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, interesting to see if they go. They show us all that would be fun.
I don't expect they've got much time for that, but yeah. Sorry, Tony, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that. I mean, prior to ILM and effects in Star Wars, I mean, the film that had the revolutionary at the time effects, and not to the extent of Star Wars, but it was 2001: Space Odyssey.
Right.
Had some higher end effects than what people were used to, and that's the first movie that really kind of blew people away with what could be done with visual effects, and I think that actually inspired a lot of these artists on A New Hope.
Right. Because you're right. That was truly visual effects to put us in space and to put us in spaceships and to put us in environments that hadn't been seen before. Not so much lasers and flying ships and
right. Not the hyperspace kind of thing.
Sound
things like
that.
that.
The visuals looked legit, looked real in that movie.
Yeah.
They did kick it off.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, it's always interesting, regardless. Even like I said, even though most of us, were well versed in all this information, it's still always nice to see it told by the people who did it. To
and I think
hear
it
it
needs
firsthand.
to be, because those guys were doing it, guys and gals, that they were doing it physically, so to speak, and mechanically. Whereas now you can tell any story, you can have Hulk smashing a subway and while aliens are flying around via computer. So there's nothing that can't be done anymore, so to speak. Making it look real on computer is the challenge, obviously, and those people, they don't get enough props because that's hard to do and it takes a lot of time, energy, and effort. But yeah, what they were doing, the original ILM, so to speak, versus what ILM is doing now, I don't know. I wonder if I guess it's a different sort of challenge, that what they were doing back then physically and digitally, or physically and mechanically, is now, all right, challenging it via computer volume aspect type of stuff to make it cheaper, to make it look real, but look big. It's just a different level of challenge for them these days. But
and
I'm so creative people do that stuff.
For people who are interested in that sort of thing, I watch this channel on YouTube called Corridor Crew, and they always have visual effects artists on their show, and they talk about Star Wars all the time. So the effect of using negatives to film like X-Wings in space, like the amount of work that they had to do with like layering 3 pieces of film just to get like an X-Wing in space or over top of the Death Star is just astounding what they created. So yeah, they have a ton of Star Wars information and videos for people who are really interested in that type of digital stuff, and I watch it all the time. So
right, so yeah, that might be what I was trying to speak of, to really, because they had a lot of work. They put a lot of time, energy, and effort to make an X-Wing fly across the screen for us back in the 70s, that nowadays it's so much easier to make an X-Wing fly across the screen, because it's not that layering of negatives and cutting out that part and layering this piece in. It's not all of that physical work like it was back then. So it's great to see that there's something paying, and so many people respect that and are aware of it.
With all the new edits, you can still see like the blocks around the X-Wings, like where they.
Oh yeah, I love watching my old version. Yeah, the old version, you can still see the blocking of the ties, and it's like, oh my, 1080p doesn't do this version, the original version of it well. So glad that they had to obviously clean it up and make the special editions for us.
So lots to look forward to.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool.
July 27th, yes. Right. Well, if we was in a pub in the UK now, I'd be ringing the bell and calling last orders.
Flicking the lights in America.
Has anybody got anything they wish to say as we near the 2 hours? I've got this won't take more than a quarter of an hour unless anybody's desperate to go. I got that Return of the Jedi quiz from the that 1980 odd special Star Wars special thing I done. So it's 20. There's 20 questions. You didn't have to do 20 if you don't want to do now. We do 10 now, and maybe 10 next podcast. I think what we can just do is just everybody go around the table, keep going around in circles. Everybody gets one question after the other. The person doesn't know the answer, we'll let somebody else come in with the answer. And I'm blessed by having the answers. I don't have to sound like a complete idiot. Although, annoyingly, I've just noticed that if I zoom in I took a picture of the page. When I zoom in on the page, I can't read the answers.
So you don't have the answer. So it'll be on us to come up with them.
Oh, I have to Google. I can't really see what. I took a photo of the page with the quiz on, and it's upside down. So I just need to quickly save this and put the answers the right way around, and I might be able to tell.
We'll just take like 2 or 3, and then we can in a committee try to figure out the answer. Then next Senate will have actual answers.
Right. Let me get the questions right next to the Skype thing, so I can see at the same time. All right. Okay.
Should be able to answer these questions. We don't need the answers.
Oh, you're right. Actually, I think you're probably right. Actually, looking at some of these, it's probably stupid. It's like.
I was destroyed by Ricky last time, so.
Yeah, that was the Tops challenge. Not the Tops challenge this week. You're lucky. But I have got.
I also won the Christmas quiz. So.
Yeah, but as a
you'll have to give somebody else a break, Ricky.
I'll take a nap.
So I'll go around in Skype order, which Skype is now giving me a really different order. Now I've made the window smaller. Hang on a minute, that's better. Okay, so it's going to be Marie, Ryan, Tony, Ron, Ricky is the order that it's going to go into. So let me see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's 5 of you. Right, okay. Okay, so Marie, your question. What was the colour of Luke's land speeder?
It was kind of a rusty orangey brown, wasn't it?
See, obviously, I'm trying to read what it says. I can't read what it says.
Well,
green.
she's right because to say what color it was is
it's a very.
It was quite a few colors.
Say orange.
Yeah. It wasn't a bitchin' red Camaro or anything. It was kind of a bit all over the place.
That's kind of
it was like a bit of a what we call a beater. I mean, it was like orange brown.
Yeah.
What color is Chewbacca while he's brown? But,
Yeah.
No, I didn't
Brown, but he's got
questions.
highlight.
I didn't write that. Actually, the answer, I can read it here now. It actually says 2 shades of pink. Which...
What?
I know. That sounds... I mean, 2
Well,
shades...
Is this one of those types of things where that's what it was in real life in order to be conveyed?
That's what it was before it got
in order
left
to
out in the
show up?
Tatooine sun.
Yeah. I think we'll give Marie that answer, I think, because...
Was it Luke Speeder or was it Owen Speeder?
Okay.
I thought it was Bruce.
Right. Okay, question 2.
Had a gun rack in the back.
Question 2, Ryan, you've got a really reasonably easy one here. Who drove the land speeder when Luke and 3PO were looking for R2?
I don't want to get this wrong. Luke?
It's 50-50, Ryan.
All right, I'm going to say Luke.
I thought you said you didn't want to get it wrong. There's a droid up ahead. Punch it.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Does
Yes, you're wrong.
C-3PO drive?
3PO drives it. Yes.
3PO was driving, yes.
Drive.
That was the first Star Tours.
It is 3PO. The answer is 3PO, yes. I'm afraid.
Since when does he drive anything?
Well, he's there.
He's a New Hope, apparently.
He flew to Mustafar, didn't he?
So you made me questioning you. I'm like, wait,
I was
about to
thinking
call him out on this one.
myself. I was thinking maybe they got this question answer wrong as well.
See, yeah, he said Luke, and I thought, wow, I thought that was 3PO that was driving.
Yeah, it seems like such a ridiculous question, but I was like, I've never seen C-3PO drive, really. I don't pay attention to that stuff.
It's very subtle.
I'm wrong.
It wasn't a huge steering wheel, so you kind of can't really... Yeah.
I mean, he's sat in the driving seat. He's not exactly turning the wheel, is he? I mean, he's just there.
Depends on who's driving.
Well, which
How good of a drive?
Road do they drive on in Tatooine?
Yeah, you guys have a weird driver's seat over there, so...
Ah, yes, that's true, yes.
But no, I went to the quote where it says there's something up ahead. I think that must be our little droid hit the accelerator.
Yeah.
I talk to myself.
Americans always assumed it was Luke that was driving because he was on the left-hand side.
And then 3PO goes, buckle up, baby. And then they go.
Well, see, 3PO hates space travel. He doesn't necessarily hate land travel.
There you go.
I mean, flying is for droids, so.
Okay. Question 3, and this is one's for Tony. R2 and 3PO once took a form of transport forbidden to droids. What was it? I mean, I would be completely. No idea on this one
I
myself.
think we're returning the Jedi question.
They took a transport forbidden for droids.
Yes, it says it's a quiz based on different forms of mechanical transport used in the Star Wars saga, so it could be in any of the original trilogy films. I'm drawing a blank on this myself, and I've got the answer.
I would say that it was.
Oh yes, of course. I've worked it out. Yeah. It's not what you think.
I don't know. The escape pod.
Steven. Can we give him head?
Hang on a minute. What did you say, Tony?
I said the escape pod in
yes.
The New Hope.
That's the answer they got there. Yes.
Yeah, you're not.
I kind of guessed just because I kind of figured that if a ship's going down and people need to use the escape pod, they probably don't allow the droids to get in if they want the actual living beings.
Where you going? You're not in there.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, he said that. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. I totally forgot that. I was like looking at it again.
Yeah. He tells them it's restricted.
That's right. Forgot about that, but yeah, I guessed it correctly.
Ron, question 4 is for Ron. Ron, you got it so easily, man. I would drag the answer out a little bit. The question is, what was the name of Boba Fett's ship?
The guy that goes on and on and on and talks about, you're encouraging me to drag it out a little bit. Slave One.
No.
Yes. You got it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought you might want to drag it a little bit, but yes.
Well, but interestingly, right, the slave, but that's right. It's never not in the movies.
No, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. The only way you know that is from, I guess, novelizations. I wouldn't know, but I know it from obviously the toys.
That's what Doug Chang calls it. So I go by what Doug Chang says.
But how calls it? But how would we know as fans? When did we learn that? And I don't think we learned that until.
I didn't learn that until like online when people were talking about it. Like
toy
years
is
back.
clear the way that most people know, but was it? Does anyone know? Was it in the novelization or anything that? And actually,
probably was a Boba Fett.
I know that. All I know is I've known it since I was a kid, but I couldn't tell you where I learned it. But a lot of that stuff was in, like you saying, the novelizations, which I don't remember if it was, or the magazines, or like the Topps cards had a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it was big for that.
I don't know if the Kenner, the original Kenner box, if that said Slave One.
Oh, it definitely did.
I had one, but I couldn't tell you like whether the box said Slave One, and I kind of think it would. So
yeah, I think the story goes that they went to name it, and they had a bit of a contest of all things to circle it back at ILM, and somebody came, somebody submitted that name, and they all kind of agreed and liked it, and that's that somebody won a contest at ILM basically to pick a name for it. And
did they ever explain why?
Why would they be having that? So that must have been the Topps or Kenner or somebody said, "Hey, we're creating box art. We need a ship name," and so they come up with it there. During the whole controversy that just recently happened in renaming a Boba Fett starship, there was definitely we could look that up to confirm that. But there was definitely chatter around that.
I always assumed it was linked to, one of the original stories behind Boba Fett was that he would capture Wookiees, to use as slave labor. That was one of the things that he was known for. That's why he had those Wookiee scalp braids, as part of his costume. So I always assumed it was linked to that, that he was a big in that trade.
And as I understand,
a bounty hunter, but he would capture Wookiees to turn over to the Empire
and I never
as slave labor.
Where does he have a Wookiee pelt on his costume?
I think in Empire Strikes Back, if you look, and he had him like on his shoulder, kind of like where the cape was. There's some braids. You can't really tell that they're like Wookiee braids or whatever. But if you look closely, and then in many things, it's been documented that that's what they were. Even the original Kenner 12-inch figure came with them on the.
Who sits there and braids a Wookiee? Like, and how long was that Wookiee's hair?
I don't know. But that's what I always assumed it was as far as the Slave One name. Something to do with that.
Yeah, it didn't have that. There was thoughts of that, but the actual name, or they went a different route, and it was like a slave circuit to Boba Fett or something,
right?
That tied to him or tied to his suit or something. There was all sorts of ways and things people were creating. I don't know that what's
that makes sense too, though. Like that he could control it with his suit or something.
Yeah, there was something to that, and they were going that route versus the bad connotation of slave.
Yeah, which that's fine. Yeah, fine too, I guess.
Well, he did actually manage to drag that answer out after all, Ron.
I follow Chancellor's orders.
Oh, very good, very good. Okay, question 5 for Ricky. What ship was Biggs assigned to after graduating from the academy?
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not.
I can take that one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hold on. Is it? You mean his call sign, right? Or
I think I know that one. No, like which one was he stationed on? Like to.
What ship? I kind of go by what it says. I didn't know the answer to this one myself, but
I think I know that one.
Ship? You mean were they having the meeting?
No, like after he finished the academy, he was assigned to go work on a ship. What ship was that?
What is it, Murray?
Imperial Academy or? Okay, what was it? Yeah, this is weird.
The random
Emily, who wants Marie interjected first. So, what do you want to go?
That's what I was gonna say. What Marie said.
What did she say? I missed it.
The Rand ecliptic.
It could well be that. I can't read what it says here, but it looks like the hand eclipse to me. But it could be the Rand ecliptic. Yes. So I will accept that. Yes.
Where is that from?
Marie, where?
That's from the original Star Wars novel. You can see it in there.
Okay, I was gonna say, how the heck do you know that one? I don't think I've heard that one again. What was the name again?
The Rand ecliptic.
Wow. Yeah.
Was this a Imperial ship, or was it
in the scene, the deleted big scenes? He's telling Luke, when he meets up with him, he says, that we're like on leave or something, and when we get to our next stop, a group of us are going to jump ship, and we're going to go join the rebellion. So I think in the novel, when they have the discussion, they mention the name of the ship that he's on.
Yeah.
I just listened to that part of the audio drama too. I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
That he's going to be on that ship, and I forget what his actual rank is going to be, but yeah, he addresses the fact that he's going to be this certain rank on the Rand ecliptic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I clearly never stood a chance of getting that answer.
Ryan, they actually, when you get to Rebels, they actually show this. So.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I get to Rebels,
you should get to Rebels.
You should get to Rebels.
Okay.
Okay, so my crown is gone. So.
Well, not yet. We've got to go around once more, but I think Marie's going to be in the lead. But come the end of the round, Marie got really in. What I think is an easy question here. What vehicles did Luke and Leia steal on Endor?
Oh goodness, the speeder bikes.
Yes, that's it.
I got Randy Clipdick, and she got speeder bike.
Look, I didn't write them. I didn't write these questions.
The reigning champ gets the more difficult questions.
Exactly.
I suppose.
Yes, please.
Okay, question 7, Ryan. What model did Luke play with just before cleaning the droids in the garage?
Oh, it's that. I don't remember the name, but that wing thing with the fin up top.
Yes.
Or what it was, but yeah, it had the 2 wings on the side, like the Imperial flight ship, something like that.
You're close. An Imperial.
I don't know.
Someone else. An Imperial.
Shut
the door.
I would have answered the T-16 Skyhopper.
Exactly.
Yeah, probably.
Well, you might have done, but I mean, it's got an Imperial shuttle here.
Yeah,
no,
that's Imperial shuttle. It's a Skyhopper.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's a Skyhopper.
That's what I thought it was. The T-16 Skyhopper.
Yeah, that was my answer, but the answer that's printed is
the
Imperial.
The one Obi-Wan gave him, right?
Right.
Where are you getting these quiz answers from?
From 1977.
It's just before cleaning the droids. So, is before or after?
I'm fairly confident that we've referred to that over the years as a T, or that it's out there that that's a 16 Skyhopper. It looks very.
They changed it for the special edition. This is like before the special edition. I don't know. This is what the questions and answers were in the 80s.
Is that the whole ever since the T-16 came out kind of thing, or have you seen is that the stormtroopers talking about that?
And it could be a bit retconning like that, Ricky. That right? If that's a quiz from the 80s, that answer Imperial and with Return of the Jedi, that answer sort of makes sense a little bit. That's what Luke was flying with, was what they thought at that time an Imperial shuttle, but what we have since retconned, if you will, a little.
You don't see Vader's shuttle until the next movie.
Yeah, you really don't see Vader's shuttle or Imperial shuttles at all until Return of the Jedi originally.
Right. So that's where he said this thing was after Return of the Jedi quiz, so it was late 80s. So that. I think T-16 Skyhopper, I think we were all right with that, the answer, but the Imperial shuttle for the time is how they would have answered it.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the memory space for all the numbers. That's why I make notes.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm not very good at it at all. That's one I seem to remember because I think it was talked about, or
it's just brought up in the movie too. I mean, there's another big discussion on it. So
If it would have had an easier name like the Randy Clipdick, it could have got.
He tells Wedge, no, that he used to bullseye womp rats in his T-16 back home.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wait,
he
he
had an
flies
Imperial shuttle.
Luke would have the
He
latest.
says, I used to bullseye womp rats on my Imperial shuttle back home.
Yeah.
Maybe he would stand on top of his toy and shoot.
Pew pew pew.
Okay.
Because I've always thought it was sort of poor. So why would he have a T-16? That would be like the latest and greatest.
Huge ship. I didn't realize that was the same thing.
I would assume his speeder was the land speeder was a T-16. Maybe it's a T-16 land. Because what does he tell Obi-Wan? Ever since the whatever came out, the value's gone down.
Yeah, it was a different number.
XP-38.
But I can't remember.
SPF
something like that.
Yeah.
SPF-38.
Question that's brought up by Marie that what is Luke? Because the Largeses are are they well to do? I think we've had this discussion. What sort of class are they in? Or whatever. That they have a ship that he's able to be out running around in, bullseyeing womp rats. What other purpose does that ship serve?
Right.
To be found.
Trips to the store.
Right. He's using Mom's Buick to pull donuts in or whatever. So
Beru had to go rendezvous to get some more weapons. So he's meeting up with Saw Gerrera.
I believe that the land speeder that Luke has, I just looked this up, is the X-34. That's the model number.
X-34.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the X-34 land speeder, and then I think he does say something in Mos Eisley to Ben about that there's not that big of a demand since whatever the subsequent model is, but the one he has, according to
was Luke just full of it then? He was just bragging, I got a T-16 back home. I need that all the time.
And really, it's like a T5.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, a few more questions left here. I was just lost in my space. Who's next? Tony. Okay. Question 8. In what type of ship did the Emperor arrive on the second Death Star?
It's the same question.
It was a shuttlecraft.
It was.
But I'm sure it probably has an official name, right? There's like an official type of shuttlecraft.
Not here. I'm wondering if they just misprinted some things here or not. But
sounds like you misread the answers, or right? They got
why on this one he arrived on a T-16 Skyhawk.
Yeah, that's right.
They reversed the answers. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Yeah. I wonder where they put the enter down.
Is that the answer for that one? No,
it's not. It does say an Imperial shuttle, but I'm just wondering whether they put the wrong enter down.
I have it twice.
For the
Imperial shuttle is the answer twice?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then that's how that happened.
That's kind of a lame quiz.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I didn't write this.
Well, look, I'm kind of looked it up real quick on Wikipedia, and it says that T-16 Skyhoppers are also known as the T-16 Airspeeders. They were personal repulsor lift airspeeders, and they were manufactured by Incom Corporation. And then it also says that the T-16's trihedral design greatly resembled that of the Imperial Lambda class shuttle.
Oh, that would be the Emperor's answer then, right? An Imperial Lambda class.
The Lambda class. Yeah, I knew it had like a name. I couldn't remember what it was. But yeah. So I think, it's the T-16 Skyhopper. It looks like a shuttle, but it's actually just an airspeeder.
Okay. All right, well,
I know that if you look in that scene when he's sitting there down in the garage or whatever with the droids, I know you can see the nose like of another vehicle.
Yeah, I would assume that was a land speeder in there.
No, because it's still, if you look again, you'll see it's clearly not the land speeder. It's more of it's got more of a pointier nose. And there's one that I think I've always thought, oh, look, it's the same model. Like if you see it's driving around like on outside of Mos Eisley, you'll see it. I don't have a picture of it, but yeah, if you look again, you'll see it. And then if you look at that other scene, there's one that kind of resembles it.
Okay. So, Ron, question 9. How were the rebel transports protected as they left the Hoth system?
One ping only. Ion cannon blast.
Yep, that's true. It's got that here, but it's also got something else here as well. That's what I would have said. I'm not sure how they...
It says Imperial Shuttlecraft?
Yes. a space hopper.
Was it two fighters?
Yes. It's got like two X-Wings and the ion cannon.
Okay, so yeah, probably to the answer of the true nature of the answer to the question is, what were they protected by? They were only protected by the two ships. How are the two ships going to protect them is, well, we're going to send an ion cannon blast out to give you a pathway through or whatever. So yeah, the two ships is the right answer.
I still don't understand why they didn't just go south when they were north.
Just go that way. Yeah. I never understand that one. Somebody have to explain that to me at some point.
I know the Empire's here. Let's go directly
not just for that, but for any film where they land and take off on ships or on planets, just go at the back door. But anyway.
They truly use the space or the Navy vernacular with the ships and the Corvettes and the cruisers and all that sort of stuff. Also then conveys to how they fight on a 2D surface. They're always two-dimensional. They never go, like you say, up or down or always seem to end up on the same path. But if you don't, then there's not nearly an exciting scene, because if they go out the south and escape out the back door, then we don't have the drama that we had. So
the Falcon does at the end of Last Jedi. They go the other way, but there was no ties. So.
Okay. For the final question, an answer that, Ricky, you're bound to get, you'll be pleased to know. What form of transport brought the two droids to Luke's farm?
It was the Sundered Heart. It was, no, it was the... Why am I going blank right now? It's the Jawas. What the heck? My brain is not working right now. I'm trying to blank.
Oh, so maybe that other wasn't so hard now, was it?
Oh my god.
There's lots of it on Tatooine.
Yes, I know.
It's the Jawas yard sale ship. What is it called?
Yard sale ship?
Well, the rest of us are all chomping at the bit to have you say it, so hurry up and say it.
Why can't I think of it? It's the walking trash garbage.
Anakin hates it and babies do it.
Sandcrawler.
There we go.
Man.
Yes, correct. Blimey, that was a struggle.
Well,
someone take my crown.
I want to ask the group, Professor, when you get that question, isn't there a slight, I think even Ryan said it, audibilize it. There is a slight bit of panic of, oh crap, I'm supposed to get this right.
Yeah.
Real Star Wars fan. There's a bit that sets in that makes the mind go blank like Ricky in terms of the, oh crap, I don't want to get this wrong.
I was expecting something like really hard.
Some of them, I'll say, they've got another set of 10 that we do in the future, and some of them are quite specific with the answers, and some of them are quite bit more liberal, try to say, like we've just had really. Some of them are really easy to answer, some of them are like very specific. Oh, we've seen what got a screenshot of what Luke was playing with, have we?
Oh no!
Yeah, if you look to his left, you see that ship I'm talking about.
Oh.
I don't know if that's the T-16.
It looks like the one
the wings
flying.
go up. Yeah, the wings go up. There's another. I found another picture, but I haven't posted it. But yeah, the wings go up, so that might be it right there.
Interesting. Learn something new on a 45-year-old movie.
Well,
it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. So that means that Ricky, you've got to hand back your Positively Star Wars Senate podcast trophy, Chris trophy, and hand it over to Marie.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Yay!
We have a new holder until we play the next game. We might do. We've got time. We'll try and do the next 10 questions next month. But I should be bringing back the Tops quiz again at some point. So I've just got so many Tops cards. It's good fun to go through them and try to guess some of the more obscure characters and stuff that there have been in Star Wars in the past. Okay, so congratulations to Marie, Thank you very much, everybody, for being here this month, and we will see you next month.
May the force be with you.
Alrighty, see you next month.
See you next month.
Go switch off. I am the Senate.
Be sure to follow us online. We're at Facebook at PSW Senate. Join our Positively Star Wars Facebook group where we all are in there interacting. You can find us on Twitter at PSW Senate. On Instagram, we're at PSW Senate Podcast. And on TikTok, we're at PSW Senate Podcast. We look forward to hearing from you.
The force will be with you, always.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
That was the
If you're
Senate.
not
Did
here,
you say?
raise your hand.
Yeah, we are all here. We're all here, which is good. Yeah, well, if this is a Friends episode, this would be the one with no agenda. As we haven't really got anything on the agenda. The only thing we've actually got.
I thought we were talking High Republic comics.
Yes, I was just going to say the only thing we have officially got on the discussion is the High Republic comics.
Yeah, we can't do a book and the comic because then Ron would just like fall asleep.
Well,
I'm in a comfy spot this time. That'd be fine.
I saw your fortress.
Yes. So I mean, we can't. Well, we're not going to be doing the books per se, although we probably might well talk around some of the topic areas.
Yeah. Talk about them. Talk about that they exist and what their subject matter is to inform people or to get anybody wants to listen to what they are, or get onto it. They would be finished up on them and probably talking them proper next go around or something. Or whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
just
I've seen some podcasts have got reviews out already. Unless some people got some serious.
Well, they get early releases for all those books.
Yeah, people are doing
copies.
They got copies before it even came out.
Because I noticed that. When I bought the Audible, there's like 2 reviews of it. I thought, well, how the heck did you manage to do that? So I suppose they must have had advanced copies and stuff. But we'll probably talk around that area, and given that we haven't had Tony for a couple of months,
they get advanced copies, and Ryan has to drive like 2 cities over to get one.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Tony's going to have some Kenobi stuff to get off his chest, I'm sure.
I'll be sure to edit out the negative stuff.
All right.
So when we start going around the table, we might well make it a long table in many respects, and pass the beer and the food around and stuff, and we'll have some nibbles and some discussion as we go around the table a bit more this time around. I'm moaning in the background that it's like too long to do around the table. We haven't got other stuff to talk about, but this time around,
let it breathe.
This time around, eke it out. So what you want, go off on tangents, and if you have any burning questions that arise as we're going around the table, then it's the time to air it and say it. So I've got a few things that I have thought about that I can just question as we go along. So let's get the party started, as they say. Is everybody comfortable? Have you got anything to say before we start?
I do have a couple little news things. It's just kind of like a jump. I think it's a good idea.
We can do that like magic.
Yeah.
Magic and light and magic. Which one is it?
I didn't watch that yet.
I didn't watch the trailer either.
It looks interesting. I didn't watch it.
Is it worth looking at that?
I think so. It's the history of them, so I think it might be pretty interesting.
Yeah, should we? I seem to remember it's like a couple of minutes, isn't it? I think the trailer. I didn't really watch it, so I wasn't sure something had much of it.
Definitely a news topic, and it could be something to just maybe not pick apart a trailer like we would.
No, absolutely, yeah. But, yeah,
just to show it to have somebody for those two people that might listen to know that it's coming, to announce it instead of being always after the fact. That could be something. So
is it worth watching, like if we watch it as a group?
Yeah, well, it might as well.
Yes.
It's only 2 minutes, isn't it? And we're only going to talk about it.
I didn't think it was that long. I think it's worth watching.
And then we can watch the Willow trailer after that.
We're going to do that. We should do it at the start, then the middle, and then at the end.
Do we? On that, do we send it before the? I'm sure we do, right? We send it again before Andor proper starts.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it's the end of August. That's Stephen.
It's almost.
Yeah.
It's almost the end, isn't it?
It is the end.
It should have just been September 1st. So.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have some. When we've done around the table, we'll have some news. We'll do just some news. We've got to do around the table first, didn't we?
So we do round table, and then when Ryan does the news, and we get to that
news, High Republic, anything, and if we've still got time left, we're off on tangents and stuff. A bit then. Okay, right. Let me get my script up so I'm trying to say things properly.
Remember, we changed the name of the podcast.
Yeah, what's it called? I got the Star Wars Senate podcast. Is that right?
Yeah, we're not monthly.
Yeah, I changed the script. Yeah, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. Hello, Star Wars. No, wait for it.